I shouldn't bother getting into this, but hey. This is someone's attempt to line up two photographs. They've been drawing boxes around things that they think match. The thing that jumped out at me is the relative size. They actually pointed it out when they drew the three boxes at the top, that the vertical positions and the horizontal spread of those, they're pretty consistent. You know, they look pretty damn similar to those three little features they've picked out. But then they go and draw those boxes on the right hand side, which are, you know, relative to how far apart the features they've highlighted at the top are at different distances, and those dotted lines on the left. Now, I picked this up on someone else's video about it, and he says that those dotted lines on the left in the lower image are in the wrong place. He's got flat bit, gentle slope, steep slope, gentle slope, and here you've got flat bit, slope, gentle slope. Whereas up here, if you look from this feature, there is shoulder and a slope down to that zigzag. From here, shoulder, slope down to that zigzag. This feature ain't in there. Ain't up here because it's that. That feature there is actually this one, he says. Now the question is, can I confirm or deny that? Well, print screen, got a piece of free software called the GIMP, and paste. Now you got your screenshot, most of which I don't need. Layer, new layer, call it layer, and make it about 50% opacity so we can see through it. And I want to take a couple of measurements from the top of that, just there, the highest point of that bit, to the high point on the right over there, is 231 pixels. On this image, it's, I mean, they are taken from different places, it's rotated, so I'm not measuring exactly the same place, but it's pretty close. They're measuring one island, photographing one island from another. 156 pixels. 231 over 156 is 1.48. The screenshot is 1920 pixels wide. So if I scale that screenshot to 2843, the scaled up bottom part should fit over the top part. 2843. Paste, layer, scale, 2843, enter, and because it's got these two, this little chain link symbol, oh, you can't see that, can you? I'm sorry. There. 2843, and it was, if I just reset that, 1920 by 1080. I'd say 2843, didn't I? Because they're linked, it maintains the aspect ratio. Scale it. Scaled. Got the rectangle select tool active, and I can just drag this lower half up to overlay the upper half. And if there was any doubt that it's the same island, well, you could still doubt it, but it looks pretty similar to me. Now, on this little bit at the top, the bit where they've got these three saying, oh, look at these features that really match. Well, no shit, it's the summit of the island, you know. It's photographed from two places not far apart. On that, if you look at just that bit, if I drag the opacity of that pasted layer, hang on, I need to actually anchor it in place, which does nothing on your screen. If I then drag the opacity up and down, that's the scaled up bottom image, that's the scaled, that's the not scaled upper image. Pretty good match. But if I zoom back out here, and you look at the right hand side where they've got the boxed cliffs, that's the cliff, forget which way around these images are. One of these is from further away. And higher up. And because you've got more features in the bottom one, that must be the one from closer due to curvature of the Earth. So the one on the top, taken from further away and higher up, you can see that cliff on the right. If I then increase the opacity, you're looking at the closer sea level photograph. Notice that the cliff on the right has shifted. This is actually going to be a lot easier if I do something pretty simple here and just cut off all the extraneous data at the bottom of this new layer. There, and there, and in fact, there. We could even zoom in. If I just go to that point and crop. Oops. A bit like that bit in Blade Runner. Enhance, enhance, enhance. So at 100% on the computer's monitor, so I can zoom out a little on the camera. Right. On the right, keeping the cliff top, keeping the mountain peak in view, watch how the cliff moves. I'm definitely photographing two different slopes there on the right hand side, and on the left, where the dotted lines are in question, those dotted lines ain't been drawn on the same place, bro. That's the feature where you should have drawn your dotted lines. That one right there.